try not to complain all the time, but I do complain about the sweets. Today, we're going to compliment their sweets. Have you tried some of their peanuts and the sugars and the chocolates here? So good. I want to talk to you today about something that is unfortunately near and dear to my heart, a little too much. Philippine sweets. I always joke that in the Philippines, bread and spaghetti are sweet. Cakes and cookies are not. And for the most part, that is true. Such is life. They got some very sweet pizza, some very sweet spaghetti, and some very bland cakes, especially their icing. I make Toll House cookies, and the kids' minds are like expanded. May as well be giving them acid. They go crazy on things like Toll House cookies. However, they do have some very nice sweets that they make in Antique. I think they make them all over the country, but we buy them in Antique on the mountain. When you come across the mountain, there are a few different shops that the buses and vans will stop at. There's a couple really big main ones on our road that have CRs and the big candy shops and all this. There's a lot of them, but there's a couple particular ones that are the largest, and they stop because it's like a bathroom break. But the driver of the vehicle gets free snacks for bringing a bus or van full of people there to shop. So they each have their own favorite. Most of the sweets are made of peanuts, locally grown, and sugar, locally grown. One of my favorites, and I only have these tubes. They come in a 3-pack, but I've been eating them, so there's only one left. What this is, it's a cacao. They just call it chocolate on this package, but generally it's called cacao. They use it to make one of the best hot chocolates you've ever had. And they come, when you unroll this, it's like 3 or 4 of these little tabs of chocolate, but it's almost just pressed cocoa. There's very little sugar in these. There are 2 different styles. That dark one, and then these I'm not going to open, but they look exactly the same. These are individual ones instead of the roll. These are a lighter brown, and these are made with a lot of peanut, which adds some oiliness, so it adds some moisture and a little sweetness. So I prefer the peanut ones, but these dark ones are actually pretty good. You can take this, dissolve it in some hot milk, put a couple of them in there, and it makes this really thick, rich hot chocolate. This one with the peanuts, like I said, it's a little smoother, a little sweeter, a little moister, more moist, I think would be the way to say it. And they're nicer. They're smoother. They're a little nicer to eat. The dark one will go from the back of your throat, reach up, slap your brain, and poke your eyes out. And I mean that in a good way. These are like serious chocolate. Not milk chocolate. Not even a bittersweet chocolate so much. I don't know. It's hard to describe, but they're really good. They're really strong, and they knock your socks off. These are much milder, a little sweeter with the peanut. And like I said, the oil of the peanut adds some creaminess. Both are quite nice. I will try and look up the prices of these, because I don't know the prices of any of them, because I just buy a bag full. I buy so many, usually if you spend like 100 pesos, they give you 1 for free. And they're usually giving me 3 or 4 or 5 for free, because I buy way too many. As you can tell, I like my sweets. We don't go to the province too often, but she made a trip recently, so we have a supply. My absolute favorite is just the candied peanuts. It's just a sugar-coated peanut. Peanuts are grown locally during the summer. The sugar is grown in Cebalum in Antique. So we did a video of her at a sugar place where they were pressing the sugar and making the molasses and all that. It's really good. It's like a real raw sugar. It's not very processed, so it's got a good, strong flavor to it. And they coat these peanuts, and you can buy them all over. You can buy them here in the city, and they're okay. We buy them up there on the mountain, and there's just something about them. They're so much better. I don't know why. Different sugar, different recipe, different cook. I don't know what the difference is. These are crazy good. To get the best quality sweets, some of these different local treats, you got to get out of the city. They sell these in the city, and they're just not as good. I don't know if they're older, if they're made somewhere else. The stuff out in the province, really good. You got to get out and explore and find some of these little shops. It's really fun, and it's really fattening. Another popular one is the peanut brittle. This is like little small, round, individual peanut brittles. They also come in larger round. They do come, if you want, like yay big, like giant pizza size peanut brittle. Those are a little bit large, but there's very little in any of these other than just sugar and peanuts, and they come out spectacularly well, which I find that interesting because so many of their other sweets here, their chocolates and stuff, are so lacking. This stuff, all of these, they really got it going on. But as far as chocolates go, these are freaking amazing. They just call these cacao, which is just basically another cocoa word. Unfortunately, there's a few others that we don't have any samples to show you, but they'll take coconut. Usually it's the green coconut because it's a little softer and juicier. And they'll coat that in some of basically some of this same sugar, but they'll coat the coconut strings with it. And they pack those into little, macaroon looking things. And they're really good. She didn't buy any of those this time, so I can't show them to you. Right across the mountains from here, right in the beginning of Antique, is Ceballos, and they grow a lot of sugar cane in Ceballos. So the sugar they get is like really, really fresh. I don't know if sugar goes stale, but it's really very like raw, barely processed. They press it out into and cook it somewhat into the molasses and go straight into the candies with it. It does not get processed very much at all. So it's a really strong, really good, probably bad for you, really good sugar. Peanuts are grown locally, I think they said during the summer. So everything on these candies is just really fresh, really good. They do a good job on them. We were going across the mountain with just in a car with 4 of us. A friend of mine was driving. We pulled over for a bathroom break and to buy some of these candies. He, as the driver, got a bag full of free candy. And I think they threw in like some water, chips, whatever. They throw in some free stuff. They give them free food because any driver that stops gets basically a bribe. So the bus driver brings a whole bus full of shoppers. They get pretty good. They'll get like a free lunch out of the deal. It's not a bad deal. We like it because the bigger candy shops have nice bathrooms. You got a bathroom break and some really good candy to pick up on your way. They also have regular sorry stuff if you're looking for chips, cookies, water, Cokes, whatever you want. They pretty much have all the regular sorry goods, but they specialize in these different sweets. So just a quick video just to show you these are some amazing chocolates. Oh my God. Yeah, it's just super powdery. You can break this up and it just crumbles into powder. But as it crumbles into powder, it slaps you in the back of the brain. Not bad. And I need to quit eating so much of them. Tell her to quit buying them for me.
Enjoy your day in paradise.